everybody. Welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie, Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie, Jessica.
So today we're going to talk about...
And my large hand.
Today we're talking all about bully romances. But before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We are still doing our Road to 1K giveaway, and we are still aiming for that 500 subscriber mark. So what happens at 500, Mandy?
At 500, we're going to give away Twisted Love along with this dark reader romance cinch sack that is going to be full of some fun swag. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, like and follow us over on Instagram for an extra entry, and check back because even after 500, we have stuff planned for 750 and 1,000 as part of our Road to 1K giveaway.
All right, so let's talk bully romance. How did you choose your bully romance? Because I know for me, I'm not into like high school bully romance, so that's not what I went with.
Okay, I apparently don't really care for this trope because when I was going back through, I think I have read over like 640 books or something. So I've read quite a bit. I did not have a lot of bully romance, and I think it's just not a trope that I care for too much. So I do have 5 books that I enjoyed. So I'm not going to be recommending books that I didn't like. But one of my bully romances, I went a little different, and the girl is horrifically bullied by her mom.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that one. The other 4 are heroine bullying situation. Yeah. But I think why I don't really read this trope a lot is because it's sort of like once you've read one, they all kind of have the same, like, oh, there's some underlying issue. He really likes her, but there's this underlying issue, and that changes. And that's why he's mean to her.
Yeah.
And just, I don't know.
Yeah. So when I was looking for books, I know like there's the standard, like there's Untouchable by Sam Mariano, but that's been talked about.
I haven't read that.
I know, but it's been over talked about. It's talked about by everybody that has a booktube channel. At least it feels like it. So I'm like, I don't want to talk about that one. It's out there. The information is already out there. And I wanted to talk about books that were maybe not talked about as much. I mean, I think there's a couple that I have talked about already on our channel. I haven't talked about it over and over and over again. So I chose books where the hero or heroine is being bullied, mostly the heroine, bullied by the hero in some way, whether he's just a big dumb bully, or something else. The bully situation is more of a cyber bully situation, but they're not like straight up marketed and billed as bully, and they're definitely not high school bully situation because I don't like to read high school romance or where the romances are set in high school. They doesn't do it for me. So these are a little different. So we have something a little different for you guys when it comes to bully romances. So let's start this stuff.
Okay, so to our viewers, you're probably going to get some different, if you love this trope, you're probably going to get some different ones then, it sounds like, based on what we have for you today. So hopefully you'll like some of these. But tell us in the comments, tell us what one of your favorite, if you like this trope, what's one of your favorite bully romances? And it's okay if it's a popular one, just tell us. We want to know.
Yeah, we just wanted to give you guys something a little different. We don't, like I said, the information's out there. We want to give you something new, something fresh, something different. And a few of them are probably going to be somewhat popular, but we just wanted to give you something a little bit different, which is what we like to do here. So the first book that I have is Devious Obsession by S. Massery. This is a college dark stalker bully romance. So this is the second in her Hockey Gods series. The first one is also stalker, dark bully romance as well. But I chose this one because the first one is far more popular than the second one. So this one is about Steele and Aspen. Now these can be read as standalones. We do see the first couple in the second book a little bit, but this is also a stepbrother, stepsister romance as well. So you got a little bit of that taboo aspect. Their parents got married this summer before they meet when they're in college, so it's not like it's that taboo. So let's be honest here. They don't know. They just don't know. They meet at a party, and at this party there is some weird little sex game going on, and they end up hooking up. And by hooking up, I mean he ends up chasing her in the woods, and then because that's what she wanted. And there were no rules, and all things go. And
what was the name of this book again?
Yeah, exactly. We'll be meeting her at Love in Vegas. I already pre-ordered this book because she has special editions of these ones for Love in Vegas. Just so you know, these are coming home with me. Anyhow, so that's what this is. What he doesn't know, what Steele doesn't know, is that Aspen is being, like, her college is being funded by Steele's father if she reports back to Steele's father on what he's doing at college, because he is her new stepdad. But Aspen also has a lot of her own trauma and things that have happened in her past that has to do with her biological father. And when Steele kind of figures this stuff out, he is not happy, and he is an absolute dick to her. He's cruel to her. He breaks into her house. He takes what he wants from her. He is definitely a grown-up bully to her. They have a definite love to hate to fuck relationship. Like, love to do it but hate each other, and that's why they do it relationship. It was a good book. So definitely dark. Definitely check those triggers for the whole series. So the third book just came out on audio, so I'm anxious to read that one. That's on the list for this week, so we'll see.
Now, is it about a different couple, or does it continue their story?
Each book is a different couple.
Okay.
And each book, they're all the boys are on the hockey team for the college.
All right.
And we do actually see hockey scenes. So
okay, thank you so much for joining us.
Exactly. Mandy's got to go read now.
Good day, people. Oh, well, my next book is called Step Bully, Jessica.
Oh,
and these are step siblings as well. I don't know. I feel like your book just put all our other books to shame.
No, I'm sensing a secondary theme here.
No.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Okay, so I have Step Bully by Astra Rose. I hope I said that name right. This is about Cole and Haley. They used to be friends when they were little. Then their parents get married when they're like teenagers, and so now they're step siblings. Haley, I love Haley. Jessica, has a podcast with her friend, and they talk about smutty romance books.
No way.
Yes. Oh, anyway, so Cole is bullying her. Like, he's just straight up kind of a jerk to her. And he goes away for the summer he goes away for college, and then him and his best friend Xander come back for the summer. So this gets even more wild than just, that situation. You can kind of read in right away why he's bullying her, because he kind of has feelings for her, but she's a stepsister. So things really kind of heat up that summer. The book is a little bit on the shorter side, but there is a second book. The first book, pretty much you could just walk away and be like, okay. But if you want to see more of the three of them, read the second book where they have been away from each other for the school year again, and it picks up the following summer. And then it finally kind of wraps up with more of an official HIA, as I like to call them. So it is a fun read. You're definitely getting more than just the bullying aspect in this book.
Okay. I'm laughing to myself because the next book that I have, they're also step siblings. This is not a step sibling video. It's just coincidence. It is. So the next book that I have is The Tangle of Awful by Kay Webster. So this is the second book in a standalone series.
I'm just going to interject. Just go read this, people.
Yeah. So the first book in the series is The Teacher of Nothing. You don't have to read that to read this book, but you should. I actually read The Tangle of Awful first, and then I went back and read The Teacher of Nothing. So you don't have to. you might want to, but you don't have to.
I think
So
I did that too, based on you telling me. She doesn't write them as a series, though.
No.
You kind of have to look for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
So, okay, anyhow. So this is the story of Aubrey, Hugo, and Spencer. So this is an MFM. So Aubrey is bullied by Spencer, who is her step brother. And because of this, she actually leaves home, and the home that she shares with her stepfather and her stepbrother and her mother. And she goes to live with her father for about a year. When this book starts or opens up, we see her coming back home to where her mother lives with her stepfather and Spencer, her stepbrother. And the antagonizing and the bullying starts on the first page. Like, she cannot get in the house. He did something with the key, or she keys his car. Like, it starts immediately because she retaliates. Like, she's no longer going to be a pushover for him to bully. And so that's the minute she gets back, it starts. This book is quite the wild ride, because I mentioned the mother. She has gone missing. Nobody knows where she is. They know she's okay because she is racking up credit card bills every day. The stepfather is running for attorney general, but his name is Hugo. Remember how I said it was Hugo and Spencer? Yeah. So stepdad, stepdaughter, and the son. Mm-hmm.
K. Webster, people. K. Webster.
So good. Like, you wouldn't think. I was like, how is this? How? Because that's kind of like, ew. But oh my gosh. So good. So, she's bullied by the stepbrother, but it works out. It works out. And there's just so many, there's a lot to this book.
So if you watched our channel, you may have heard me talk about Birthday Girl once or twice. And so I love Penelope Douglas. Credence was a little odd for me.
I love Credence.
I know you do, but I don't like the sharing. That's just not for me. But when I was reading this one, there is so much going on, and K. Webster writes so well that you don't even really have time to process what really is happening, and you're just kind of there for all of it. It was very different.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot, and that's usually not my thing.
No, but it was good. Yeah. Okay. So tell me your next one is not brother and sister, stepbrother and sister.
It's not.
Okay.
It's stepbrother and stepbrother.
Oh my gosh.
I just have to rename this video. After this, though, I don't have any more. I just had the two, I guess. And you had two?
Keep going.
Okay. So this is called Wrath by Ella James. This book is long. It's over 700 pages. But please don't let that scare you off from this book. It was very good. I really enjoyed this. So this is about Ezra. Ezra is going to be our bully. And as we know, bullies always have trauma. And that's, why they're bullying. So Ezra comes with a lot of trauma. You definitely need to check triggers for this if you have triggers or are sensitive to some topics. This dives into some very, very heavy stuff. So make sure you check those triggers. Then we have Josh, who is also obviously the stepbrother, and Ezra nicknames him Miller DG for do-gooder because he feels like Josh is just this do-gooder and the light in everybody's eyes. And Ezra doesn't quite feel like he fits into the step family because it's Josh's mom, so it's like Josh's house that he's familiar with, and Ezra kind of gets brought in. He doesn't have much of a relationship with his dad yet. And so he just really kind of feels like an outsider, which causes him to lash out even more. And this story takes you through some very, very painful situations as the two of them are kind of trying to figure out what's going on. There's definitely this mutual attraction between the two of them. And there's a lot, like I said, a lot of trauma on Ezra's side. And this is, Josh realizes that this is going on because Ezra has like some intense nightmares at night. And so Josh realizes, he's very wise for his age, that Ezra has this trauma, and he tries to get Ezra to open up to him, but Ezra is very reluctant. I read a couple reviews where people said the book was too long, and then I read reviews where people said the book was not long enough. They could have read for a very long time. The length was intimidating to start with, but after like you just dive in, I didn't feel like it was too long because there's a lot that has to get worked through to get to that other side. That I really enjoyed it.
Okay. Well,
I liked that the bullying wasn't just because he was there. There's an attraction, like kind of happens in some bullying romances. It's like, oh, I really like you, so I'm just going to be a total boss.
I'm just going to pull your pigtails on the playground.
Ezra has layers and layers and layers.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So tell me about your next step, siblings.
Since we have this theme going, we might as well keep it going. And I know I've talked about this book a couple of times on our channel. I'm going to continue because it still does not have enough views or reviews as far as I'm concerned. So this one is not step siblings. This is stepfather, stepdaughter.
Oh.
So yeah, Brutal Intentions by Lilith Vincent. So this is about Laz or Lazario and Mia. So Laz was told by his family that in order to get his inheritance, he had to get married. And so he married Mia's mom. Now, Mia's mom is older than him. She's in her 40s and very early 40s. And in order to get this inheritance, he has to provide an heir. And he's decided that he doesn't want that with Mia's mom. He wants that with 18-year-old Mia. But he kind of goes about doing that in very nefarious ways, and he's not nice about it. He is a bully to Mia. He's not nice to Mia. He's obsessed with her, but he also bullies her. And he ends up doing things like switching out her birth control for placebos. It's messed up, but it's freaking awesome. It works for me. So, there's that. He has this Playboy rep, and that was part of the reason why he got thrown into it, the whole situation that he's in. So, his family is they're both parts of these crime families. So you have to, what happens? What happens when all this comes to a head? What happens to their whole situation? So, and I'm not going to say that Mia's not into it, okay? Because, Laz is not as old as her mom. Laz is kind of in the middle there. He's not, I don't even think he's maybe 30. He's younger than her mom, but older than her. So, yeah. Yeah. Worked for me.
Okay.
Okay. Is your next one related in any way?
No, my last ones do not have relations. All right.
How's it your last one? Is it your last? Oh.
No, I said my last ones. I have
ones. Okay.
more.
Yeah, 2 more. Okay, good.
3 more.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So my next book is called Thorn by J.A. Ownby. Okay. Ownby. I don't know. I'm so sorry. Phonemic awareness, not my strong suit. Okay, this is about 17-year-old Lacey. She has led, triggers, mental health, lots of mental health in this one, FYI. 17-year-old Lacey has been very sheltered by a very abusive mother who's like very controlling and mentally ill. So she's very unpredictable in how she's going to respond to situations. So this story, the mom is the bully. Lacey has been horrifically bullied, abused by her mom her entire life. She meets Walker, and Walker is just very taken with her. He really, really falls for her fast, and she really loves Walker, like falls for him fast as well, and slowly realizes that the home life she's had is not normal. Her mom is ill, and Walker's mom kind of helps her piece these things through. It is very much, her home life is very much just an emotional roller coaster, and her mom becomes a very difficult part and them being together. So she's kind of forced to choose between Walker or her mom. And so I know that you would be like, well, her mom's abusive, so why would you do that? Well, you think that you've been raised with this woman for 17 years, just trying to earn this woman's love over and over again in a very unstable environment. There's going to be some trauma there. And it's going to be hard for her just in a little bit of time to realize that everything she's known is not okay, if that makes sense. So it's a very moving story with a lot of mental health stuff thrown in. So I just want to really caution people on that. I really enjoyed it. It is not just one book, though, just throwing that out there as well. But I wanted to do something different because I haven't read a ton in this trope. I wanted to do something different with the theme that we chose for this video than just having boy likes girl, boys mean to girl.
Exactly. Yeah. So my next one is a little different. It's paranormal. So that's where you're going to get a little bit different. She laughs. So this one is, it's Shifter. So this is the Tyrant Alpha's rejected mate. So this one you have Una and you have Killian. So Killian is the alpha in the pack, and Una is part of the rejects in the pack. She has a limp. She's had it since she was a little girl. So she kind of limps, kind of drags her leg a little bit behind her. And she is basically a part of, like, they serve the pack, her and these other girls who are rejects, who are unmated, and they don't have anybody to look out for them. And one day she is like, she's got a latent wolf. She's never shifted. She's bullied by the majority of the pack. I mean, not just Killing Kelly. She's bullied by everybody because she has a latent wolf and she has a limp, and she's a part of these rejects. She is serving the pack in the mess hall. She's serving dinner one night, and this girl who Killian has relations with quite often is sitting on his lap and kind of grinding on him and doing whatever in front of the whole pack. And her wolf decides that it is done and it is coming out to play and it is coming out to get its man. And she shifts in front of everybody. Well, he rejects her when that happens. She, takes off, and it takes him a while for him to realize that that really was his mate. And at this point, she's done. Like, he's already rejected her, and she's been through hell, and she's been treated like crap, and she's not going to take his crap. So she makes him grovel and grovel and grovel. And it takes a lot for him to, I mean, his wolf knows, like, his wolf inside him knows that they messed up. And he knows that his human is a dumbass for not paying more attention, but the human has to make up for it. So I love it. This has the best grovel because she puts him through his paces. Doesn't just forgive him right away. So it's pretty awesome. So this is just different. It's different when it comes to the bullying. She's not bullied by just one person. She's bullied by the whole pack, the whole group. But she makes Killian pay for it, which is good, as he should. He's in charge of all of them. Right, dang it.
All right. My next book is your typical boy meets girl, boy is a jerk. Mm-hmm. All right. So my next book is called Thorn by Tracy Lorraine. This is about Jake. He's a star football player, and he is like, just think of like star football player, high school, very popular. The boys all want to be him. The girls all want him, that sort of thing. But of course, he has many layers, and he's secretly tormented. But everyone else doesn't really see this because he puts on, this persona that he's like this football god, that sort of thing. Amalia just lost her parents. She lives in London. or England. I can't remember if it was specifically London or not, but she has to come to America to live with her grandma. And she was supposed to graduate, but due to her missing some school and how the transition works, the school believes that it's best for her to repeat a grade. So she's really not happy about that. And she's trying her best to kind of fit in and make the best of this new life. But her parents died, And Jake meets her and he's just a total jerk to her. And she doesn't understand why, but we see kind of a little bit more why, but we don't really find out exactly what's going on for a while either. But basically she reminds him of something that he has greatly lost that involves some of why he's very tormented. But something happens to her and he swoops in and kind of rescues her. So it leaves her just kind of very confused because she can feel this mutual attraction between the two of them, but she doesn't understand what's going on with him, like why he's one way and then another way, that sort of thing. I enjoyed this, even though it was kind of that typical thing. He's not just he doesn't hate her because he likes her. He hates her because she reminds him of stuff, if that makes sense. So I enjoyed it.
Okay, so the last one that I have is also different. This one is The Day She Cried by Kay Webster. And I say it's different. It's really hard to explain this one without giving away a lot of this book. This has definitely checked triggers. There is triggers for suicide in this book and there's triggers for cyberbullying. Go to Kay's website and look up the other triggers because there's just some really interesting. This is just really different. This is about a set of twins, which are Raven and Rome. And they are being raised by their alcoholic father who is abusing Rome, the brother. They're being bullied at school and being treated pretty poorly. They're just outcasts, just in general, they're outcasts. And when I say they're in school, they're at the very last few weeks of high school. And then we have Charity. Charity is a part of the cheerleading squad, and she's one of the popular girls, and she's got this future planned out. And she's a little bit of they refer to her as a sheep. She kind of does everything that her best friend tells her to do, and she doesn't seem to have much of a backbone. She doesn't seem to say nope, that's not cool. And we have at one point where Raven decides to get onto this dating app, create a profile, and she starts talking to someone she thinks that is a boy, and there is consequences to that. Because of those consequences, things happen. Then we have the ramifications of that and those consequences and the aftermath. And it is a romance. So I promise you there is a romance in this book, but it is just so different. But it's very with today and cyberbullying and all that stuff, it's just very, it was very good. It was very good, but as a mom of teenagers and stuff, it was wow. So just saying, I really liked it. So yeah.
All right.
Okay,
my last book is called Bad Boys Break Hearts, and this is by Macaulay Smeltzer. It's the first book in her boys series. So this is about Mason, and Mason is not a bully. He's just an ass. He's a dick to everybody. And when we first see him, he almost runs her over and he yells at her, even though it was going to be his fault that he almost hit her. I'm oh, great. So he's going to be a total jerk. But as soon as he meets her, he's going to be changing his ways for her. But he doesn't. So it turns out Mason and Rory actually knew each other when they were little. And due to some things that you're going to want to check triggers about, she ends up abruptly kind of falling out of his life. And apparently as a kid, he never really got over that. I don't know. And the next time they have an encounter is when she is leaving his best friend / roommate's room in the morning. And what we would call the walk of shame. But I don't know that we should really call it that, but that's what's happening if you want to refer to it that way. And he is pissed because he knows who she is and he is not happy about this. So he decides the best way to react is to just continue to treat her like dirt and be an ass, because that's how we should deal with our feelings, you know? Despite that, though, the book was still really good. I really enjoyed it. Both of them had to work through a lot of things to kind of get, you know, moving in the right direction, but I did really enjoy the story. I don't want to give anything more away.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that. Yeah. All right. So there was our top 10 bully romances that were just a little bit different, a little bit something else, something a little bit unique, right? Like,
yes,
that's the word we'll use. They're unique. Yeah. So let us know in the comments below what your favorite bully romance is.
And make sure to check back on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays for new videos from us.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.